Hi students, today we are going to discuss 9th CBSE Unit 2 Commercial Mathematics. In that we are going to discuss compound interest without using formula. First, sometime in need we borrow money from a bank or some other agency during financial business. In general, the money is borrowed for a specific period and has to be returned to the end of the period. At the end of the period, we pay the money borrowed plus some extra money for utilized the money of the lender. The money borrowed is called principal. The extra money paid for using lender's money is called interest, and the total money paid by the lender at the end of a specific period is called amount. Amount is equal to principal plus interest. Now in that the interest it is going to be classified into two types. One, it is going to be simple interest. The second one, it is going to be compound interest. First, let me explain the simple interest. Interest is said to be simple if it is calculated on the original principal throughout the loan period, irrespective of length of the period for which is borrowed. The formula for it, simple interest is equal to principal multiplied by rate multiplied by time divided by 100. Even we can write it as I is equal to P into R into T divided by 100. Now we need to find the simple interest for rupees 8,000 is lent at 5% per year for 2 years. Find the amount and the simple interest. We are going to calculate it for 2 years. Directly we are going to use the formula simple interest is equal to principal multiplied by rate of interest multiplied by time divided by 100. Here we have principal is equal to 8,000. A rate of interest it is 5%. Time is equal to 2 years. Now just we are going to substitute all the values in the formula. So interest is equal to 8,000 into 5 into 2 divided by 100. Here we are going to get 800. This is a simple interest. So simple interest is equal to 800. Amount is equal to principal plus interest. So principal it is 8,000. Interest it is 800. So the final amount is equal to 8,800. Now I am going to explain the compound interest. Money is said to be lent at compound interest, which has become due to the end of a certain fixed period. It may be 1 year or it may be half year, etc. It is not paid to the money lender, but it is added to the sum lent. The amount thus obtained becomes the principal for the next year. This process is repeated until the amount for the last period is found. Now guys, I am going to explain here the difference between the simple interest and the compound interest. The difference between the final amount and the original principal is the required compound interest. So compound interest formula is equal to final amount minus the original principal. Compound interest is equal to A minus P. So A it is amount, P is equal to principal. The difference between the simple interest and the compound interest is made clear by the table. Here in the table we have taken some borrowed. Principal is equal to 1,000 rupees at 10% per annum and for 3 years. Now we have here two columns. The first column it is simple interest and the second column it is going to be compound interest. Now the simple interest and the compound interest, whatever the given conditions for 3 years, we are going to calculate the calculation for each and every year. First row we are going to use for finding the first year. So P is equal to 1,000 rupees and here we have rate is equal to 10% and we are going to calculate for every year. So it means the time always we need to take it for 1 year. So T is equal to I is equal to 1,000 into 10 into I divided by 100 is equal to rupees 100. So this is a simple interest. Amount is equal to principal plus interest. Principal 1,000 and interest it is 100. So 1,000 plus 100 is equal to 1,100. Now we will come to the next column, compound interest. P is equal to 1,000 rupees. Same we are going to use the formula for compound interest. I is equal to P into R into T divided by 100. It means 1,000 into 10 into 1 divided by 100. We will get compound interest as 100. Amount is equal to 1,000 plus 100 is equal to 1,100. If you compare the first year and the second year, we have same values. The amount values what we got here, it is same. Next we'll calculate for the second year. So principal is equal to 1000 and compound interest is equal, simple interest is equal to 1000 into 10 into 1 divided by 100 is equal to rupees 100. This is the simple interest for second year. So amount is equal to, we have here it is amount, it is 1100 plus 100 which gives us 1200. Now if you compare that second year, simple interest principal it is 1000 rupees, but in the compound interest we need to take the principal as the previous year amount. So the previous first year amount it is 1100. So the first year amount it is going to be carried for the second year principal. So second year principal is equal to 1100. So interest formula is equal to P into R into T divided by 100. So we will substitute the values. 1100 into 10 into 1 divided by 100, the rupees it is 1100. This is the compound interest for the second year. Amount is equal to principal plus interest. Principal it is 1100 and interest it is 110. So we will get that second year amount it is 1000 to 10. Now if you compare both that interest and as well as the amounts. Now for second year, compound interest is more than the simple interest, because the compound interest here we have 1, for the simple interest it is 100. So compound interest is more than the simple interest. Now we'll come to the third row for third year. In the simple interest, principal is equal to 100, interest is equal to 1000 into 10 into 1 divided by 100, which gives us 100. This is a simple interest for third year. Amount is equal to, here we have 1200 plus 100 is equal to 1300. Now we'll come to the compound interest. In the compound interest, the principal it is the second year amount it is going to be carried for the third year principal. So third year principal is equal to 1210, because the previous year amount it is 1002. Interest is equal to 1210 into 10 into 1 divided by 100, which gives us 121. So this is the compound interest for third year. So amount is equal to principal plus interest. Principal it is 1210 plus interest it is 121, which gives us 1330. Every year compound interest increases, but the simple interest remains the same. Now compound interest, if you check, here we have first year it is 100, the second year interest it is 110, and the third year interest it is 121. But if you compare in the simple interest, the first year we have rupees is, it is 100, second year also simple interest is 100, and the third year simple interest also 100. Here the principal it is not going to be changed, and as well as the interest also it is not going to be changed for simple interest. But in the compound interest, every year the compound interest and as well as the amount it is going to be increased. Now if you want to find out the compound interest in 3 years, we have to calculate first year interest plus second year compound interest plus third year compound interest. It is nothing but 100 rupees plus 110 rupees plus 121 rupees, which gives us 331 rupees. Compound interest in 3 years, this is the other method which we can use. So compound interest is equal to the total amount at the end of 3 years minus the original principal first year. So if we subtract 1331 is end of 3 years amount at the end of 3 years. Original principal it is 1000. If you subtract, we are going to get 331 rupees. So both it is which it gives same answer. This is the difference between the compound interest and as well as simple interest.